What up, G Life fam? It's your boy, MC Shadow, back at you with another video. Make sure you guys are subscribed. You like the video or dislike, however you felt. Comment, give your thoughts, and check out the playlist. On the home screen, if you go to playlist, all the videos on their own folders makes the video you're looking for a lot easier. Whether you want reactions just to G series or whatever. Now, the video, what I wanted to talk about today was hood hoppers and loyalty. It was a question that was asked, a suggestion in that one post that I put to, whoever wants like a video or, want me to speak on something, just leave it there and I'll make a video about it if I'm able to speak about it. So I was asked about hood hoppers and loyalty. Now, what's a hood hopper for those who don't know? A hood hopper is someone that belongs to a gang and then goes and joins another gang. Now I know what most people are thinking is like, how is that possible? That actually happens, and believe it or not, it actually does. Now, I myself have never met a person that has hood hop. You know what I mean? But I have heard of it. Now my hood we don't accept people that used to be from a different hood. The reason for that is, the neighborhood sees it as a sign of weakness. I wouldn't go to that extreme and say that that's how I view it, but that's how my neighborhood views it. But I don't see it that way. I see it more that it's a red flag for somebody's character. Like I said, I don't mean to insult anybody right here or disrespect anybody. I'm just here to give my opinion on it. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that this is the way it is or whatever. I'm just giving my thought on it. The reason for that is because when you belong to a neighborhood, it's all about, the reason why you're from a neighborhood is because the love that you have for your hood, not because you're expecting something in return. Because when you're from a neighborhood, it's gonna come to a time, because like I have always said, stay in school. This life is drama and bullshit and everything. It's gonna come to a point where you're gonna get some drama on your plate by your own homeboys. You understand with this game, it's a game of egos, and then you have a lot of people on drugs and a lot of tempers and egos flirting. You know what I mean? So you're gonna have haters. That's true. When people speak about that, whether it's ex-gamer or whatever, when they say the drama, there is drama. Oh, best believe there's drama by your own homeboys. You know what I mean? Your own homies are gonna question you, are gonna try to smut your name, try to throw dirt on your name, because every neighborhood has those individuals that are just haters, my boy. You know what I mean? They even hate on their own homeboys. They don't like that the homie puts in work, that the homie has respect. They're envious of that person, so they try to smut their name ups. You know what I mean? I have been through that before. Other homies as well. It's normal, to be honest with you. It's fucked up, but it's true, because like people say, it's supposed to be a family and stuff like that. Very true. But when I was a youngster, I'll never forget what one of my older homies, shout out to Little Bouncer, what he told me. What he told me and the other little homies. But when he had said, because he had, there was some drama, whatever, and he had said, it's alright though. All the homies from the neighborhood could dislike me and could talk shit about me, and I'll still represent my hood, because I don't do it for the love of like the homies. I don't do it because I'm expecting love in return. I do it because of the love that I have for the neighborhood. You should never expect something in return. If that's why you're doing it, you could understand why people could raise their eyebrows at that kind of persona, because that only shows that when you're ever put in a situation where you feel like all odds are against you, and like no one extends their arm, then you're gonna pretty much flip on them. You get what I mean? It's a sign. I'm not saying that it does happen or whatever. It's a sign. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that they all do, but a majority of them, that does tend to happen. but that's not even a gang thing. That's humanity in general. You know what I mean? Whenever you do something, like if you're supporting somebody or anything like that, you should do it because you want to and not because you're expecting something in return. Because if the scenario does ever occur where that person doesn't, support you like how you supported them, these people tend to turn on those individuals, and that's not a good trait. Even though you're not wrong, you know what I mean. But that even though that neighborhood did something bad to you, you shouldn't do it back to them. You know what I mean? Because then you're no better than them. You get what I'm saying? You can't do to others what others do to you. You know what I mean? And think that you're right here. You know what I mean? If they're wrong here because you've seen it wrong, that's why you flipped. Then you're wrong as well for doing the same. So it don't make it that you were right. You get what I mean? It just means that both of you were wrong in this. Some people in this world think that just because the other side is wrong, that means that what they're saying is right. No, you could both be wrong. You get what I mean? Because when you belong to a neighborhood, it's supposed to be about loyalty, right? And loyalty, you stick through it regardless. Like me, I have a bond and attachment to loyalty. People have heard me speak about it right here on this channel a lot. You know what I mean? I even studied the psychology behind it because I want to get to know why I have that kind of attachment, help better understand myself, because I myself don't fully understand it. I have an attachment to loyalty. So, other individuals don't have the same, morals, I guess, let's just say. But this game is all about respect and loyalty, right? So if you're loyal and committed to something, even if they do you wrong, like throughout my life, I give people loyalty, but people back, they don't show the same loyalty back. But that doesn't mean that I'm gonna now stop and change my like who I am, just because these individuals weren't righteous enough. You know what I mean? Because you still have to have hope that there's other people out there that will do the same in return. You know what I mean? Just because a few bad apples fell from that tree doesn't mean that tree produces nothing but bad apples. You get what I mean? So I stay true to my fundamentals, even though 9 times out of 10 they end up screwing me over or whatever. But it's all good. At the end, I know that I could sleep peacefully at night knowing that that I'm not at fault here, or I'm still true to my fundamentals. Like I didn't bust those snake moves like they did. You get what I mean? So with that, I can sleep well at night. So that's what I mean though. Like, because I hear a lot of people always say, oh, but they backstab you, oh, they'll do you dirty, they talk about you. Yeah, that does occur. That does happen. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit here. Like I said, I only tell you how it is, and that does occur. That really does occur. But see, people have to understand that, like, because they're like, well, how could you still, be a part of that or like that? Like, yeah. See, it's not. I don't do it because I'm expecting something in return. I don't do it expecting my homies to love me. Shit, all the homies from the neighborhood could dislike me. They could all hate me. They could all hate me and hate my guts and want to smoke me, and I'll still represent my hood because it's about because how I feel about my neighborhood, not because I'm wanting their backup or their love or anything in return. It's about me and how I feel about my hood, not nobody else. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It could just be me solo bolo, and I'll still represent proud. But that's what it is, though. That's what it means to be, from a neighborhood and a bond to loyalty and all of that. Like I said, it's better to stay in school. You don't want to go through all this bullshit because it isn't a curve. You know what I mean? It does happen. You do have them, sleazy ass homies. You do. But that's kind of like in every family as well. You know what I mean? There's some people that don't get along with all their cousins. Shit, there's some that don't even get along with their siblings. And just like you were growing up with your siblings, you guys had fights and arguments and stuff like that. Just like a regular family. You're gonna have the same exact problems that a regular family has. And don't tell me you never had an argument with no one in your family or a fallout or anything like that. Get what I mean? So it's kind of like if you belong to a family and then your family does you wrong, you're gonna go and live with another family. Change your last name and go. Well, yeah, and believe it or not, there is actually people that do that. You just gotta ride out the storm. You know what I mean? And if you're doing it because you're expecting something in return, then you were in it for the wrong reason, homie. You know what I mean? You should always expect nothing from this life, because you're gonna get nothing out of this life. Like I said, I only call it how it is. That's honesty. I'm not here to put down the life I live or anything like that. I'm only here to tell you how it is, and you get shit from here. Nothing at all. And like I said, I'm not PC, no drop out, none of that. You get nothing out of here, homie. Not a damn thing but stress and all of that. It's better to stay in school. Real talk. But that is loyalty, and that's what we just don't accept, like hood hoppers, because if they did it once to their neighborhood, then who's to say that they're not going to do it again to your neighborhood? You know what I mean? That's why it's not seen as. And there's certain homies that do tell their homies that they used to belong to another hood and explain the shit, because there is scenarios and situations individuals go to. Like I said, that depends on that individual and their own individual case, because every scenario is different. So I can't speak in behalf of them or why they did it or whatever. You know what I mean? I could only speak on how I view it and like my neighborhood, how it sees it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't agree how my neighborhood sees it, saying like it's a weak move. You know what I mean? I think it's more of a sense of character. But like I said, everyone has their different opinions. You know what I mean? I'm not calling people out here weak or anything like that. I'm just I could only speak it from our perspective and from my point of view. You have to understand that, well, if you did it once, who's to say you're not going to do it again? You know what I mean? And you could be different. You know what I mean? You could be that one individual that's different, because they do exist out there. But I'm just saying, as overall, that's just how it's seen. You know what I mean? Not saying that everyone sees it like that, but I said a majority of them see it like that. Like I said, we don't make the rules. We just follow them. But that's just about the hood hopping thing. Because each and every individual's case is different. Depending, you would have to hear out the scenario and see like what you get out of that. You know what I mean? If it's a red flag, if maybe that individual was in the right and stuff like that. But like I said, you would have to hear out each and every individual's personal case. You get what I mean? But as for me, even if they did want to do me dirty and stuff like that, I would still rep my neighborhood proudly, because it's just the loyalty and emotional attachment that I have to it. It's not because I was always expecting their backup or their love or their or anything in return. But then again, I have 9 family members from my neighborhood, so the way I was raised is a little bit different. The loyalty attachment that I have, I guess, to it compared to others. So I guess maybe that's why I just can't grasp from their perspective. But hey, that's just my opinion on it. You know what I mean? Or how homies see it and stuff like that. It's never seen righteous. 9 times out of 10, even if that individual is righteous or whatever, in the beginning, it was going to turn a few heads or raise a few eyebrows, and a few individuals are going to have a few questions. You get what I'm saying? That's just how it is. Homies can't even say that I'm lying, because it's the honest truth. There's some homies that don't even tell their homies, and there's a reason why they don't want to tell their homies. It's not like I'm making this up, but I'm just saying, that's what I think about the whole loyalty. Why people shouldn't bring loyalty and why I don't do it, and just stay in school, bro. You see how complex it gets? I'm just saying. Shadow.